On your go vegan, could you tell me factually why I should go vegan? Not like off of
Yeah,
moral, off of factual reasons.
yeah.
Why should I go vegan? Because morals is a debate no one's ever going to truly agree on.
Yeah, but do you agree that we should stop like graping animals? Do you think it's good to not grape an animal?
You mean bestiality? Yeah, we should stop that.
Okay. Do you think it's wrong to like slaughter a dog?
Mm, no.
Oh, so you think I can just go up to a dog and just take a
Are
knife
you going to
and
eat
cut it
that?
open?
Are you planning to eat that dog? Are you killing it just to kill it,
Yeah,
or are you
I'm gonna
planning to use
I'm
it
gonna
as a source of food?
I'm gonna eat it, but I don't have to. I just eat it because I just want it. I like the way it tastes. Is that okay?
And then no. If your society, your law says it is perfectly okay to eat a dog, and you plan to use it as a resource, go ahead, eat the
Okay.
dog.
Okay, great. But I'm not talking about legality. I'm talking about morality, right? Do you think it's morally okay for me to go up to a dog, take its neck, slit it open, just because I like the way they taste? Is that okay to you?
I was asking factually. I said not morality. Morality, mine personally, no. Some cultures, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm
As
talking about you, right? I'm talking about you. Do you
me,
think it's
no.
okay
I
to slaughter
personally
a
would
decent
not
dog?
eat a dog just to eat a dog. I find a dog more.
You're not answering the question though, right?
I just said no. I personally would not on a moral standard or a logical standard. I find a
So
dog
I'm
more
asking you if it's
useful.
right. Like I'm asking you if it's right or wrong. Is it wrong to slaughter a dog that's innocent, or right?
For the purpose of food, no, it is not wrong. I'm saying on my personal
So you're
moral,
saying
I
it's
would not
okay.
eat a
So you're
dog.
saying so. Let's say, for example, I'm me. I have a store next to me. I don't have to eat the dog, but I go up to the dog and I kill it. Is that okay to you?
So a store that has meat, stuff like that, you said, right? I misheard what you said. You cut for me. That's what you said, the store that has meat. Would it be wrong to go kill the dog then, correct?
We have a store. There's all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of foods in there. But
Okay.
I decide to not buy anything in the store. I just go up to a random dog and slit its neck open. Would that be okay to you to kill an innocent being like that?
No, that is a very cruel way to do so.
Okay, great. So you think it's wrong to kill the dog that you don't have to, right?
Yeah, personally, I do.
Now, do you consume meat?
Yes, I consume meat
Okay, do you
because
have to?
Hmm?
Do you have to consume meat?
Nope, I choose to.
Okay, great. So you choose to eat meat even though you don't have to. In other words, you choose to slaughter animals that don't have to die. You decide
Correct.
it's wrong, so why do you do it?
Because wrong wise, and I'm gonna tell you the full thing. A dog, stuff like cats, are better for companionship. They serve a more use for companionship versus a cow that has been bred over generations and is much more useful as a food source, same as a chicken. So through society and my beliefs growing up, I see animals like cats and dog better as a companion, while I see a cow better as food. If I did not grow up with a dog as a companion, then I'd probably say, yeah, I'd eat a dog just fine.
Okay, great. So you would eat a dog if we grew up with it, if you didn't grow up with it. What if you didn't grow up with people? Would you eat people?
There are some tribes that do eat people. I
I'm
can't
not
say yes
asking
or
I'm not
no.
asking about other tribes, right? I'm asking about you, right? Like, do you think it would be wrong for me to eat people if you grew up in
Mm,
that situation where you're not around people and you just ate them for food? Would that be okay to you?
so not around people. We're saying like you grew up in the woods, correct?
Whatever. You grew up
Yeah,
not around people and they
not
were not
around
your
people.
companions. They were not your companions.
By all means, no. On my moral standard, yes, because I grew up in a society. But I can see
Okay.
someone who grew up in the woods,
So
not around
you
people,
think that
eating
eating
people.
people would be wrong, right?
On my society, yes, I don't see the benefit of cannibalism in our modern
I don't
society.
know why you're doing this. Look, it's a simple yes or no. Do you think it's wrong to eat somebody if they were
Personally,
not your
yes.
companion?
Personally, yes, unless it was survival.
Okay, great. So you think it's wrong to eat a person even though they're not your companions, they're not pets, they're not cute and cuddly. Okay. So you think it's wrong to kill a person, but okay to kill a dog. What's the morally relevant difference?
The morally relevant
What's the
difference
yeah,
is
what's
that
the
one is
trait?
of our
Hold
own
on. Hold on.
species.
Hold on. What is the trait that humans have that dogs don't have that would justify killing a dog?
The trait is that they're of our own species and I can communicate fully with a human. Those are the traits.
Okay, can you communicate with the baby?
Yeah, you can communicate simple things to a baby.
Like what?
You can't, personally, I can't because I'm not its mother, but when a baby sees its mother or its parent, they can use certain things such as moving it towards the mother's breast that it's indicating it is feeding time, stuff like that.
Okay, animals can do that. All animals can do that. Okay.
Yes.
So you wouldn't kill a baby though, right? Even though it has very little communication skills, right?
Yes. But you're
Or the
overlooking one thing I
same.
said. A human is of our species, is the baby of our
Okay,
species. There's
great.
that trait.
So again, all you care about is the species. Okay.
Yes.
So what if we found out tomorrow that some of us were not the same species as you? Would you go ahead and slaughter them and put them in gas chambers?
Hmm. Probably not, because I'm saying on a more, but we're going off of a more standard. I'm asking you for a factual standard
Yeah,
of why
yeah,
we
that's
shouldn't.
that's what we're debating. Ethics. That's what veganism entails. Ethics, right?
Uh,
So you think it's wrong to kill a species that was different than yours, but you just said it was okay to do that. There's a contradiction there. So what? At the end of the day, you're contradicting yourself. Unless you can point out a difference between us and the other animals. Can you?
yes, I can. Other animals, we do not communicate the same thing. We are not as likely to contract a disease from eating them as we are from eating other humans. There are general, very harmful things that happen from cannibalism versus eating other species that are not the same as yours.
You can still get diseases from eating animals, sir.
Yes, you can. There is some, but it's a lot safer
Okay,
versus some that are inhuman no matter what, how you eat it, you are very
right. But you
screwed.
can still get diseases from eating animals, which means that you're not any kind of safer at all for eating a dog or a pig or a chicken. It's not safer than eating a person.
I can cook every part
In
of a
fact,
dog or a pig very safely.
way less people die from cannibalism than they die from eating meat. Meat products are very deadly, cancerous, and everything. But uh, yeah, the same applies to humans, right? Humans could be disease ridden, and so can animals. I don't see there's no difference there at all. I still don't see a reason why you get to put a dog in a gas chamber or a pig in a gas chamber. I don't see the justification there. They're sentient. They don't want to die. They don't have to die. I don't see what justifies that.
Sorry about that. I was talking to someone. They came and asked me a question. Could you repeat the just last 15 seconds? I'm sorry about that.
I don't see a justification when you haven't pointed out a morally relevant difference between us and the animals that would justify killing them and slaughtering them.
Different species.
We just went over this. It's like you didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah. And I know
You
what you're
just said it
saying.
was
Yeah.
wrong. You just said it was wrong to kill another species. Then you said it's okay. There's a contradiction there.
Yes. Let's say, like you did the thing that, let's say 50% was turn out to be a different species, correct?
Yeah.
Can you have a full on conversation with that person still? Can you,
Okay.
do they look any different from us? On everything
So
besides that DNA
let's say
level, are they any different from us?
no, they don't look different than me at all. They're just mentally disabled such that they have the same intelligence of a cow or a pig or a chicken.
Whoa, whoa. See, now that's something you're talking about different. That's saying someone mentally handicapped, not a
Right.
different species now.
Would you eat that other species that was mentally challenged?
Mentally challenged? No. If they can still full on talk like us and act like us, look like us, at that point, not only on my
What if they
moral
could talk?
standard, at that point they are not
What if
much
you
different.
couldn't? Okay. What if you couldn't talk to them, but they looked just like me? They were deaf or they were mute. Would you
So
slaughter them?
Just basically killing someone due to them being disabled, no.
Okay, great. So what it comes down to is what? That they look like me?
Hmm? Yeah, yeah. Do you look like a human?
Oh,
You would.
okay.
Yeah.
Where's your cutoff between a human and a non-human?
Non-human, when we are no longer able to hold full conversations and actually look the same.
Where is the aesthetic difference between a human and non-human that would justify putting somebody in a gas chamber? Where's the cutoff for
Let's
you?
let's use I'll say let's use a pig for example because they have kind of a similar skin to us, stuff like that. Let's say a pig was bipedal, I'd still eat it. So
Okay. So
you
the
have to have the
bipedal pig you would
similar
still eat.
bone
Okay.
and
Okay,
physical structure of a human.
what if the pig had fingers and hands like mine and feet like mine? Would you put that pig in a gas chamber?
Is it sentient enough to hold a full conversation?
It's mentally disabled, sir.
Mentally disabled,
You,
but
you
as
just
it
you just told me before that you wouldn't you would you ever kill somebody who was mentally disabled if they couldn't talk to you? Would you ever think that's okay to kill them?
no, but I'm saying does let's say
Okay.
the sentient form of a pig,
So
can the
then,
majority of its
then
population
intelligence
still?
cancels out. And then intelligence cancels out because it doesn't matter about how rational they are. You would still never harm a person who is not rational.
Yeah, because it's another human.
So then it comes down to looks, right? It comes down to how they look.
Look and intelligence, yes. Of the species as a whole, I should say intelligence of a whole as a species.
Okay, if they looked just like me and was as intelligent as a pig, would you kill that person?
No, because that looks like us. It's just a low intelligence.
Okay, then all you care about is how it looks like. Okay, so where's your cutoff in terms of aesthetic value? Is it the feet they have, the legs they have, bipedalism, the hair color? What physical trait, would justify putting them in a gas chamber?
We'll go with the face. All right, you know what a human face looks like.
Okay.
Let's say this creature now had either scales and slit eyes or had the structure of a pig's face and did not have the capability of communicating with humans as a species of a whole. I would not say that is a human.
Okay, so if it looked just like me but had scaly skin, you would eat it. You would put it in a gas chamber.
If it could not communicate with us, yes. Like how you and I are
Okay,
communicating, if it
so
could
you're
not
telling me if
communicate
there
with
was a
us.
disabled person who was human and had scaly skin, you put them in a gas chamber.
So a human with scaly skin. Then that's just a human that has a skin condition. That's not a different species.
Okay, let's say it was a different species and looked just like a disabled person with scaly skin. Would you put them in a gas chamber, sir? Would that be okay to put them in a gas
I'm
chamber?
saying if its whole species had that level of sentience, correct? That whole species, not a gas chamber. I do disagree with that version of getting rid of pigs. But yes, I would see them as a viable food source.
Okay. So you would eat somebody who looked just like me, but had was mentally disabled. And had
No,
scaly
I
skin.
said not just like you. I said if it was a completely different
To
species.
me, that is super absurd, right? To me, this is absurd. I would never harm anybody, no matter how they looked or no matter how rational they were. I think that's a poor reason to kill somebody and slaughter them and torture them. Pigs, cows, and chickens are heavily tortured in these factories around the world. It doesn't make sense to think that's okay to do that because of how they look.
And there is ethical ways to put animals.
No, there is no ethical way to kill somebody that does not have to die. I think what you did there was absurd. It was insanity, justifying literally slaughtering somebody who looked just like me. I think that's crazy. I think that's just crazy. But again, I can't help Jeffrey Dahmer, right? I can't fix Jeffrey Dahmer.
Hi there. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Great.
So I've been vegan for, I don't know, let's say 12 years now. And the reason I clicked on your video is because you said humans can cause climate change.
Yeah.
As far as, let's say, reversing climate change, if more than half of the people in the world like went vegan, how many years do you think that would take to reverse the damage that's like already done, if that makes sense? Like,
Well, first of all, we wouldn't reverse climate change. That would take way more work and effort. But it would drive. It would probably, if everybody were to go vegan in the entire world, it would probably reduce carbon emissions by 10-15% around the world globally. So it's really good.
what would that time frame, like, how would that, in what time would that be achieved, if that makes sense? Would that be in our lifetime or like more than 100 years from now?
It could happen within a couple generations, sure. But do you have like a counter argument for these things, or do you disagree with me here, or do you just agree with me?
Yeah, I don't agree with you, but I don't disagree with you either. And what I'm trying to understand basically is, like, I don't necessarily believe that we're capable of reversing damage from climate change, if that makes sense. Like, I don't stand strong on the argument like some vegans do.
Nobody said we're going to reverse climate change by being vegan. Nobody ever said that. We can reduce climate change. We can, reduce our emissions greatly, but it doesn't equate to stopping or reversing it.
I see. So you're saying that it would possibly slow it down,
Yeah.
slow down the effects. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to check in and get your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So basically, do you believe that everything's got like a purpose and a cause, like a meaning?
I think that purpose is completely subjective. I don't think that anything has an intrinsic purpose.
Okay then. So basically, you need a baker to bake some cookies or food. So does a baker need a baker?
Does God need a God maker?
Does a baker need a baker? Yes or no?
Does God need a God maker?
No, because it's everything comes to a limit.
Okay, great. So why can't the universe be eternal and not have a universe maker?
How do we know it's eternal?
Well, it could be, could it not?
I mean, well, if we don't really know, we can't just dismiss God on the theory
If
of
we
God.
don't know, we can't dismiss the eternal universe.
So, do you
Without
believe that we're the only humans in this universe?
Probably, but who cares? Why is this relevant?
But do you think that this seems a bit strange that we probably be the only humans that ever existed?
No, I think that the universe could be teeming with life out there. It's just that it's not going to be human. We're rare, probably rare, but there could be all kinds of living things out there, all kinds of aliens. We have barely looked around the universe for life. The universe could be full of life.
True. Someone mentioned to me the other night that they believe that there might be other life, but in different form, not in human form.
Yeah,
That's
and look, whether or not we're alone or there's lots of life, it still doesn't mean God did it, right? So we don't know in either way. This doesn't give credence towards God, even if you're right and I'm wrong.
so why do we have biblical like tombs? Like Moses, for example, Abraham. Like we have the tomb of Abraham, which is in a mosque in Palestine, I think.
Okay, you have a rock. You have a piece of like structure made of rock. Okay, congratulations. Anybody can make a tomb. Where's your evidence of God now?
But all the religions stem off that tomb, like the evidence of Abraham, because you only got 3 Abrahamic religions.
I don't see why this is relevant, sir. I mean, where's your evidence that God exists?
I mean, there's evidence that Abraham existed.
I'm asking about a God, not a person, right?
because God guided Abraham,
How do you
and
know? How do you,
Abraham had a connection with God.
how do you know that?
Well, we can look at the biblical view or the Quran view, as well as the Torah.
Okay, so you have a book that says a thing. Congratulations. I mean, a book, it doesn't make it
I
true.
mean, why do we have a tomb that claims to be like Abraham burial?
Look, it's just a tomb. Everybody has one. I mean, like, there's billions of them
But why is it so famous if it's just a tomb?
because people made it famous, right? It's just people in
Oh,
the
so
culture,
they
the
did it
religion
because they're
that
bored.
want to make it famous, right? Like Mecca, there's a rock in Mecca where everybody walks around every year. They walk around a big black rock. It's just a special thing that people. It's traditional. It's just what people do. Um, there's nothing that doesn't make it special inherently.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna pray for you. Also the Muslims because they're pagan, so
Okay, well,
don't listen to the Muslims.
I'm gonna go think for you. Okay, I'm gonna use critical thinking for you. Okay.
Okay, don't listen to the Muslims because they're just pagan. You know, when just bring up Aisha
That's
when
not
they're
how
sick.
truth happens. Right? You don't just say, "Don't listen to someone. Don't listen to this person." Right? You go with what the evidence demonstrates. Data, evidence. That's what matters here in these conversations. Not, oh, he said, she said. Don't listen to that person. Don't listen. It's ridiculous. What does the evidence demonstrate? That's how we gauge what is true or not.
We have to look at it from a moral perspective if we're going to talk about the true religion. We can see that Islam doesn't have the right morality for it to be true.
What's your morality? Christian?
Yeah.
So why does your morality allow slavery? Why does your morality allow literal forcing people into marriage? Like Exodus
Okay,
21
but did
7
you
said.
know that most asylum seekers come into the UK, and on the news, I think it was last week, that they raped a 15-year-old child, and that was a Muslim.
I don't care about a person doing a horrible thing. I care about your doctrine. Your
But
biblical doctrine.
Islam teaches child
You
marriage.
gotta let me speak, sir. You gotta let me speak. Okay. The biblical doctrine endorses slavery, endorses grape, endorses murder. Deuteronomy 13 talks about if you see an atheist, right, or a non-believer who's been strayed away from God, you must kill him, put him to death. This is what the Bible promotes. It's you point your finger at the Quran, but look at your own book. It's full of nasty stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pray for you. I hope you find the truth.
Okay,
But
I'll be thinking for you.
look into Islam and what they actually believe in, because I think it's quite disgusting. What
So
they
is the
think,
Bible,
as
sir.
well
The
as their
Bible's even
as their
worse. The
prophet.
Bible's even worse, sir. The Bible's 10 times worse than the Quran.
Okay, what about ISIS and the Islamic groups, that terrorist group?
What about your God who killed babies in a flood, right? What about your God who allowed people to be mauled by bears because he
Okay, so is it okay for a 40-year-old to date a 15-year-old, a 9-year-old, let's say, like a child? Do you think that's moral?
look at the appeal to hypocrisy you're making, right? You're making an appeal to hypocrisy by going, oh, look at what the Quran says. The Quran bad, but my book, that doesn't make your book good, right? I mean, your Bible, you're not listening to me. It's like you're just skipping everything I'm telling you. Leviticus 20:13 says you can put someone to death for being gay. Exodus 21:7 allows slavery of children. Like, come on, read your damn book. It's full of garbage too.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I don't read the Old Testament, but I'll look into that.
Well, you should, because that's where your God made those initial laws.
Oh, never known that.
Okay,
Yeah.
have a good day, sir. Enjoy reading those stories, those fables.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, so I go vegan. Are you for animal rights or reduce suffering?
Both.
How is it both?
Why are they mutually exclusive? Why can't we do both at the same time?
Okay, then I could reduce suffering too by hunting invasive species. Are you okay with that?
Well, invasive species potentially could do more harm than good. So it depends on the context. I mean,
Well, I'm in Texas. I hunt wild boar. It's overpopulation. So you'd
yeah,
be okay with that, right?
it depends on the context.
The
Number
context
one,
I just gave you.
firstly, what I will say is the wild hog situation in Texas and America, in the Southern America, is largely due in part uh, the on behalf of the Spaniards who came about 600 years ago to the Americas, and they kind of gave them to this country and made them invasive.
Okay, well, I'm
And
talking about right now. So me, my own self, would I
yeah,
be
but look,
doing
that's
greater
the point
good?
is that this situation would not happen if it wasn't for if
But I'm saying
vegans were
right now,
there in
like,
the
what
first
can I
place.
do?
Sir,
I can't go back.
you're not listening. Just listen to me, sir. What I'm saying is vegans are against the notion that we should implant animals to America or other countries. I think that we think that's wrong, right? We don't want to exploit any animals. Now, when it comes to invasive species, right now in the current day, I think we should do as much as we can that is non-fatal before we start shooting animals like maniacs and stop hunting them. I don't think hunting is going to solve the issue.
Yeah, but have you
Um,
looked up crop deaths? Do you know animals die from wheat production? Are you okay with that? Or you just don't want to can you name the trait lacking in those wheat production animals that justifies you holocausting them instead of eating meat? What's the
yeah,
trait difference?
yeah. This is a good point, right? You're saying, oh, look, you kill animals in
I just
crop
want you to name
fields.
the trait because you're justifying
Yeah,
animals dying from
let me
crop
respond here,
production.
sir. Let me respond. You're straw manning what it means to be vegan, right? Vegans don't say that no animals die. What we're saying is we want to do the best we can with what we have, and we think that farmers have the right to protect their crops. Farmers should grow crops because if they don't grow crops, we die, right? So we agree that animals should have rights, but we also have rights too, and I think we have the responsibility to do what we have to make food for us.
Okay, and I
If
say
we
I
want
have
to
the
kill them.
responsibility in Texas to do what I do to have food for me by hunting wild boar. Is that unethical in your
I don't
opinion?
think hunting wild boar is ethical in every situation. I think that if it comes down to protecting your own land, I think that's okay. But I think if you're just going to go out shooting wild hogs for no reason, I think that's wrong. I think you should be exhausting all non-fatal uh, things before you start shooting them, like contraceptives or fencing or things like that to reduce the population naturally. Also, okay, even if there's a justification for shooting animals that are invasive, I mean, how about the animals that you eat, like chickens and pigs and cows that eat in restaurants? Don't you
That's
think
a
that's
that's
wrong, right? That's
that's a
all
straw
wrong, right?
man. That's actually a straw man. You just straw manned me. You just straw man me,
No, I
bro.
asked you a question. I
No,
asked you
that's a
a
straw
question.
man.
I asked you a question,
I
sir.
told you I
Look,
live in Texas on a farm. I hunt invasive species.
okay, okay. Do
Okay,
you think it's wrong? Look, do you think it's wrong to consume animal products that those animals didn't have to die, like cows, pigs, and chickens and farms? Do you think that's wrong?
no, why would it be wrong?
Okay, because you're killing innocent animals that don't have to die.
Yeah, I could. Have you seen crop deaths? Have you seen all those animals that die from your wheat production that you justify?
What percent of crops are grown for humans? Do you know around the world?
No, I don't.
It's about 25%. The vast majority of crops are grown for animal products, not for humans, right? So by going vegan, you're reducing crop deaths, you're reducing crop field deaths, right? So that's the entire point here. By eating cows and pigs and chickens, you not only are you killing those animals that have rights, in my view, but you're also destroying those crops that come with it, the forests that come with it. So
Yeah.
you're doing way more damage versus what vegans are doing, right? That's why your argument doesn't hold.
Okay, well, you asked me, said like care about the animals. Can you admit does grape happen in nature? Like 80-90% of grape occurs in nature. Would you agree to that or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what if you asked me name the trait and I said the trait is grape. So I'm okay with holocausting human rapists. So why can't I eat animals? How's that not consistent?
What? Because animals don't have a
How's that not consistent?
because those animals out there, they don't have the same rationality as we do, right?
Well,
Someone
that's
who's
the
a
name the
human,
trait.
Somebody
When
who's a human has rationality and is actively choosing to do these horrible things
okay,
and
I just want to make
consciously
sure.
aware of it, right? Whereas animals, not that's not the case. And by the way, that is a rare phenomenon even in the animal kingdom. But also,
Do you think human rapists should be locked up?
yeah, of course.
And do you think animal rapists should be locked up?
Well, the thing is, they don't have the same rationality as we do. They don't know
You're
what a
justifying
jail
rape.
means. No, you're not understanding.
Why do you want rapist rights?
Oh my gosh, I'm not saying that rapists should have rights. What I'm saying is that animals in the animal kingdom don't have the same rationality as we do, right? We're not going to treat a pig the way we treat a person, right? Because they don't have the same understanding as we do about society and how it
But,
works.
but like you said, God is
So-
imaginary.
so-
So why
so,
would I care
yes,
about an animal?
Hold
rapist?
on.
Why does
So
it
when
matter?
a pig or a chicken or a cow, does something bad like that in nature, yes, I think it's wrong, but it's not nearly as wrong as when a human does it because a human was more conscious and aware of it and more rational about it, whereas a pig or chicken was not.
Do you see
Also,
everyone saying
humans
WTF?
know what jails are. We're capable of putting people in jails. We're not capable of putting pigs in jails, right? They don't.
Yeah,
They would
we
not.
can kill them.
They would not be able to do that. So yeah, that's a difference. But again, this is not attacking veganism. Seems to be like some kind of weird reductio, but it's not relevant to veganism because veganism is about giving animals rights, not the same rights as us, not the same privileges as us, but recognizing that they should not be harmed if they don't have to be harmed. Do you agree with that?
No, because you're okay with animals being harmed for your wheat. You're picking and choosing. You don't understand that.
You're not understanding the entire ethics of
You're
veganism.
an atheist.
Let me explain.
Why would I care about your animal rights? Rights don't exist. You understand that? You can go to the Middle
Oh
East.
my gosh,
you
sir,
never
you
have
gotta
rights.
stop. I know you heard this shit from YouTube and other
Everyone's
idiots on
saying
YouTube.
WTF,
Just stop,
you're lost.
please. You have to let me speak. Veganism only means you care about animals sufficiently enough to not want to harm them if you don't have to. That's all it means. So under your view, you think you can go ahead and rape a dog. Under your view, you think it's okay to go ahead and kill and slaughter a dog, put a dog in a gas chamber. I think that's wrong. Yes, we can't be nature's police. We can't stop all bad things from happening, but we can minimize it while also upholding animal rights and viewing them not as objects, but as individuals with sentience and consciousness. That's what it means to be vegan. It doesn't mean we stop all bad, okay? So please understand what veganism means. You're really strawmanning it. It does not entail that no animals ever die. So stop strawmanning that, okay?
So I just want to make sure: is it unethical for a bear to eat a fish? Like in your worldview, is that unethical?
What?
Is it unethical for a bear to eat a fish?
No, sir. A bear has to do what it has to survive. But we don't have to eat fish. We have stores. We can choose plant-based options.
So we can't have fish either. It's immoral. It's
Sir, animals also eat their own shit. Do you want to eat your shit too?
Why does it matter to you? Like you have no morals. You're an atheist.
Look. This is your justification.
You're
Mike,
trying
the
to make
animals do
yourself
it.
like a god. You're not a god. You
Sir,
don't have all the
please.
answers. You want
Stop.
fish's right.
Stop.
You want-
Stop. This is your look. This is your reasoning, right? You're saying, look, Mike, the animals eat their own shit. Why can't I eat my own shit too? Right? This is what your logic entails, right? To me, that's absurd. We don't get our morality from animals. If a bear eats a fish, that's what a bear has to do to survive. We have stores, we have options, and with options comes responsibility. And that's why I'm vegan. That's all it means to be vegan. It means to make the responsible choice when it comes to the animals. Yeah, a bear had to do what it had to do. So that's why it's not wrong for a bear to kill a fish. But we have choices. Okay?
Yeah, like I said, I live in Texas and I live on a farm. And there's a bunch of wild boars around my house that I have to kill. So I feel like by me hunting those invasive species,
You don't have to kill them. There are ways to get rid of
no,
these
but
animals
can you
without
hear me
killing them
out?
at
Can you
first.
hear me out? 'Cause
I don't know why
I'm
you're
killing the
still
wild
not
boar
getting.
that-
I don't know why you're not getting it still. Right? I explained.
killing-
I just
Look, you're not letting me talk.
explained this to you.
No, you haven't heard me out.
Oh my gosh, sir! I just explained this to you. harming animals is okay under certain contexts. Veganism does not mean no animals ever die, ever. That's not what veganism means. So can you stop pretending that's what it means? I understand animals die. Every time I walk on grass, I'm probably killing a couple ants. Okay, there are contexts. There are certain circumstances where animal death is okay to me and to vegans. It's not about being perfect and no animals ever die. Again, you keep doing this. Number two, I don't think you have to kill those pigs. There's hogs. There's other options you have. Fencing, contraceptives, right? Other things like that. Shooting them is not going to solve the issue, right? The source is the issue. What's the root cause of it? The root cause is people bringing those animals to this country. That's wrong to vegans. Vegans are against invasive species being imported into our country. So if the world was vegan, you wouldn't have to kill those animals, right? So that's the point here. It's about the ethics. It's about the philosophy, not about being perfect and, no animals dying ever. So please understand the nuance.
No, I understand. Like, I'm with you.
Okay,
Animals
how old
do
are you?
die.
How old? First of all, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh my God.
Animals do die. I'm with you. I never said they don't die. So I don't see why if you agree animals do die, we're not perfect. Why should not I kill the wild boar that comes up to my land?
I can't believe I just explained this to you. This is the third time now explaining it
Animals
to
die.
you. Let me explain it to you again, sir.
No, dude, you're a clown.
If an animal is coming to your property and is threatening your crops or threatening your life, I think it's okay to harm the animal. Just like it would be okay to harm a person if they were trying to attack my property. I don't know why this is so hard, right? Look, people want to come up to these vegan lives and say, "What about crops? What about this?" They want to get the quick jab in there. And I understand why they do this. It's because they're threatened by vegans. They feel threatened by veganism growing in numbers. They're being defensive about it. Just as we saw at Parker, right? Parker was so defensive. There seems to be so much resistance against vegans for some reason. People not understanding the nuance. People not understanding what it means to be vegan. Yet they're attacking it. When all we want is animal rule.
I have one statement to make. Humans are omnivores. We eat meat. Period.
But do we have to?
Well, I'll tell you what, man evolved because we're able to eat meat protein. I'll tell you what, if you lived up in Alaska, you certainly would have to because of the extreme temperatures up there. So yes.
Sure, but we don't have to consume animal products anymore. We don't have
yes,
to.
we do. Yes, we do. It provides quick and effective protein compared to the massive amounts of massive quantities of non-meat products to do the same.
No, so we can get plenty of protein from plant-based products.
You don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Hold on.
Know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Let me respond. Shh.
Bullshit. You're not smart.
So tofu, beans, lentils.
It doesn't do it.
Protein. There's no reason why you have to consume animal products for protein.
Because it requires a tremendous amount more of non-animal protein.
No, in fact,
yes, it does. Yes, it does. You don't.
No, so for example, per calorie, lentils have as much protein as like even steaks or other things like that. Tofu has more protein per calorie than most other meat products. There's lots of protein there.
You're wet, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about.
Then why are there vegan bodybuilders out there who are way bigger than you'll ever be? And they're vegan. Hello? You there? Yeah, we talk to people like bodybuilders. They have no problem getting protein, right? You can get 200, 300 grams of protein as a vegan. There's also protein shakes, vegan protein shakes. There's no reason why you have to consume meat. It's not necessary. And plus, it's harmful in many ways. So, yeah, I think this guest has no He has no idea what he's talking about. Hello? Okay. Why are there only a handful of vegan bodybuilders? Well, there's only a handful of vegans, right? So it's population based.
Yo,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great.
Talking about just picking up on the last subject. The bodybuilders they require massive amount of protein. I don't know if you have you talked to them or are you just using the anecdotal situation with a handful of bodybuilders?
I don't understand the problem here. You can get as much protein as you want as a vegan. You can get 1,000 grams of protein if you wanted to, easily. Like protein shakes, you can get tons of tofu, beans. Like there's no reason to worry about protein. That's like the least of our concerns. The biggest concern is animal welfare, right? The biggest concern is how the hell are we treating these animals that don't have to be harmed like we're harming them?
Well,
So
you were contradicting yourself earlier when you were talking about how animals they don't have a moral compass. Like they don't. You were saying it's okay for a bear to eat a fish, or when you were talking about grape earlier, how it's okay for them to do it or something like that because they don't know any better. So in other words, we're not the same.
of course, we're not the same. We're different than animals, but we are morally, in the sense that we are morally the same, is that we're sentient, we're conscious, we're aware to some degree. They feel pain, so that's why I think we should extend rights to animals. Not to say that they have the same rights as us or the same privileges, but we should, consider them in our ethical frameworks because they are sentient.
But I think we do though. I think I respect animals and I love wildlife, you know,
Okay,
and
so then why do you eat and slaughter animals then?
for the protein, for the nutrition.
Exactly, but you can get protein from plants.
Not the same though. I was vegan. I tried veganism and it didn't work. I wasn't feeling good.
Okay, so when you say I tried veganism, that doesn't make any sense. You mean
I tried going vegan.
you mean you
Well,
tried a
let me
plant-based diet?
correct myself. I tried
You-
going vegetarian.
Okay, so you went vegetarian, and you
Yeah, I tried to
a
cut out meat.
plant-based diet, and it didn't work. And how do you know it didn't work? Did you talk to a nutritionist?
No, my body was feeling it. I don't need to talk to a nutritionist to tell me how my body was feeling.
Yeah, see, that's irresponsible, right? You're not actually looking at the data. You're not looking at the science. You're not looking at the studies behind the evidence that shows that a well-planned vegan diet can be suitable for all stages of life. I mean, this is what the position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics says. So there's actually the evidence is on my side. You haven't done any research. We can tell. That's why you said, "Oh, I don't feel good," and you just stopped doing it. Number one, it's not about health being vegan. Number two, it's about the animals. It's about ethics. So
Yeah, do the animals have ethics?
to a degree, yeah, they do have some rationality.
To what degree?
Like animals and dogs, they understand to some degree, like companionship. They understand. We have seen them save each other or share food. Animals do have some degree of empathy and some degree of rationality for sure.
Yeah, some, but how much? It's very little.
Okay, it's irrelevant how much it is. The point is that they have sentience. So why do you think it's okay to slaughter and put a pig in a gas chamber?
I don't think it's okay to put a pig in a gas chamber.
Okay, great. Do you eat bacon?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that bacon that you bought from a store comes from pigs and that had to be slaughtered.
The only place I will agree with you on is commercial farming. That's where I draw the line.
Okay, great. So you think it's wrong to put a pig in a gas chamber, but you do it, but then you think it's okay to put a pig on a farm to be slaughtered.
Yeah,
Right.
to be humanely killed. Yeah,
Oh,
for
how do
food.
you humanely kill somebody?
Without torture, without pain. You actually. Another thing too is, have you saved any animals? Do you go out of your way to save animals and help animals and house them and feed them?
Yeah, I'm a vegan, sir. I probably saved thousands of animals in my lifetime.
No, but animals out that need help, like a homeless pet or something like that, or
Yeah,
or just any animal, any wildlife in danger. Do you go out? Do you actively
Yeah.
go out and try to help them?
I do to a degree. I don't have a pet. I haven't rescued a pet, but that doesn't mean I'm not vegan. Number one. Number two, let's go back to the conversation here. Why do you think it's okay to put an animal in a farm and slaughter them?
Because I don't want to eat them alive.
So you think it's okay to kill them? They don't have to die.
Yeah, for food. Yeah, that's what they're here for.
Okay. They're here for food. How do you tell?
Yeah,
How do you know?
that's why God put him here.
Oh, okay. So what do you think makes a pig food but a person not, or a dog not food?
By choice.
Oh, not God? God, I
No,
thought
by
God said
personal
you could.
choice.
I thought God said. I thought God said you can eat dogs.
There's cultures out there that eat dogs. I don't eat dogs.
Sir, did God say it's wrong to eat dogs?
Did God say it's wrong to eat dogs? I don't know if that's in the Bible. I don't think it is.
Okay, great. But do you think it's wrong to eat a dog? And
I
slaughter
would
a
just
dog?
choose not to.
Do you think it's wrong to go up to a random innocent dog and eat them?
I mean, when you word it like that, yeah. When the way you're wording it, yeah, of course. To just go up, like, you think about what you're saying. I'm just gonna go up to a random dog and just start eating it. Like,
Okay.
no, that's not how it works.
That's what you're doing to the pigs and cows that you slaughter. You're going up to a random animal who is innocent and you're now eating them for protein, which you can get from plants. That's the problem, right?
But a farmer, a non-commercial farmer, is providing them a really good life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Would you
they're
be
housing them, they're feeding them,
Oh, okay. They're feeding them? What else are they doing
they're
on these
they're
farms?
they're giving them a place to live, and they're feeding them, they're taking care of them,
Oh, really?
they're giving them health care.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Would
they
you,
are.
sir, let me ask you a question. Would you ever be a farmed pig?
Would I ever be a farm pig?
Yeah, would you ever
do
want
you
to do
realize
that?
how stupid that question is?
Would you ever want to be that?
Do you realize how stupid that question is? Answer
Would,
that.
would, would you ever want to be a
I'm a
farmed
human.
pig?
I'm a human. No. Why would I want to be a pig? I'm a human. That's a stupid question.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly. You
stupid
would,
question.
no, it's not a stupid question because you would never want to be a pig to be slaughtered, would you?
I wouldn't want to be a pig, period.
You wouldn't want to be a pig who was slaughtered, right?
I don't think I'd know the difference if I was a pig. Do you know
Right.
what it's like to be a pig?
Do you understand what I'm telling you, sir? Would you
Do you
want
know
your
what it's like
life
to be a pig?
taken? Would you want your life cut short?
I'm a human. That's
Okay,
different.
as a human, would you want your life cut short if it didn't have to be?
No. No.
Okay, great. So you think it's wrong for your life to be taken short. Then why do you think it's okay to kill a pig and take their life short?
No, I don't. I think pigs should be raised, should be taken care of properly, and then eventually we could eat them.
Why? What justifies eating them if you don't have to? Why would you
Protein,
cut their
food,
life short?
nutrition.
But you don't have to get nutrition from a pig's butt. You can
It's
eat
it's
plants.
it's. Why do you say a pig's butt? I like eating steak. Not
That's
not.
a
You
that's
know,
a cow's butt. That's a cow's ass.
I like.
That's a cow ass.
The way you're saying it, whatever, call it what you want. It's a steak. It's a well
Okay,
cooked,
it's a
delicious
steak.
steak.
Oh, okay, great. But it's still an animal who died for you for no reason. You could have eaten a plant-based option.
There was a reason. It was for food.
Okay, if I ate you for food, would that be okay?
If you eat me for food, that's cannibalism.
What's wrong with that? It's for food.
So you're gonna lower the human value to an animal value.
What's the morally relevant difference?
Well, to you, morality is subjective, right?
Yeah, that's irrelevant though.
So then what
What's
does
the
it matter?
difference morally to
So
you?
that's a stupid question. What does it matter? It's
It's
endless.
not about my morality, it's about your ethics, right? To
Well,
you,
you
what's
think
the
you're right,
morally
but you're wrong.
relevant
I think you're wrong.
Oh, great. So tell me what the difference is between animals and humans morally that justifies killing them.
Because first of all, we have a soul, number one, and we were here to have dominion over the earth and the
Okay.
animals.
Okay, so if tomorrow we found out that humans don't have souls, would that be okay to murder people and eat them and put them in gas chambers?
If we found out tomorrow that humans that would change a lot of shit, and I wouldn't even know how to answer that. Excuse me for cussing.
But would you eat that? Would you
You're
murder
going
people?
we're going way out on
Would
a
that
limb.
justify
trying to
murdering
prove a
people,
point.
sir? Would that justify murdering somebody if they didn't have a soul? Hello? You there? We can't hear you, sir. You're Googling something. I mean, look at how petty this argument is. Oh, he's gone. Look at how petty this is, right? I think the reason why we get to slaughter animals is because we have this invisible thing in us that the animals don't have. Come on. I think that these arguments are petty. I think that animals don't deserve death because of something simple as, oh, they have protein. Oh, so do plants have protein. There's no reason to slaughter animals, in my view. There's no justification to me. Oh,
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
yeah, how are you?
Good, good. And you?
Good.
Good. Just wanted to come by, say hi. I guess you're hilarious, man. I don't say it in a bad way. I feel like a lot of the people who come in debate make the conversations very funny. Just wanted to say, hey.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm guessing you live in the U.S.
Yeah, what's your argument today?
Oh, do you mind if I ask what state you live in? That way we can just have a better understanding.
No, sir, I'm not going to do that. Just what's your argument? What justifies
Okay.
eating animals?
Okay. Well, my question to you, here in the South, we have feral hogs, and we also have alligators. Where do you weigh them at?
The reason why we have feral hogs in America is because the Spaniards imported them to this country 600 years ago. It was wrong. Vegans think that's wrong, right? The entire root of the problem is non-vegans bringing those animals to America. So they wouldn't even be a problem if it was for you guys. But more importantly, yes, if you're in a place where an animal is impeding on your property, or trying to take away your crops, or take away your living, I think that there is some justification to do what you have to get rid of that animal. But that's a very rare circumstance. I mean, we're talking about the bigger picture here is the animals that don't have to die, like the cows, the pigs, and the chickens that are dying by the billions around the world. That is not justified at all to me as a vegan. So,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and I can totally agree with you on the way that some of the animals are treated. Chickens, boy, they're treated deplorably. But not as bad as pigs or cattle or sheep.
Regardless of how much they're treated, how badly they're treated, I think it's still wrong to kill an animal if they didn't have to die. Let them be, right? What justifies slaughtering and killing animals that are suffering on the grand scale?
Right. Since you said the word grand, the grand scale of things, that's what you want to talk about. I live in the state of Texas, and we produce like 12.8 million heads of cattle a year. Look at the revenue that brings to my state on the grand scale of things. What are we supposed to do without that money?
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, we're making revenue from this process. It might be beneficial for us. The issue is, number one, we don't know what the spillover effects of this will be. I mean, imagine you're making revenue, but in fact you're taxing the healthcare system of America, because more people that eat meat or have more diabetes, more cancer, more heart attacks, more strokes. So what are the economic impacts of that spill over from that? But also, more importantly, I mean, we
I
would never say that it's okay to have a slave because, oh, this makes my business gain revenue. That would be a terrible reason, right? Do you agree?
correct.
Right. So in the same way, it's a wrong reason to say that, oh, my slave would get me revenue, therefore let's have slaves. In the same way that's wrong, I think it's wrong to say that to the animals. Oh, these animals can make me money, so let's go ahead and enslave them. I think that's just as wrong.
But they're not doing any work. They're making money.
They're not here to do work for you, sir. They're here to be free, just like we want to be.
But we'll talk about the animals that do work. Service dogs, things of that nature.
Oh, okay. What about it? Why does that justify slaughtering animals too?
We get off top because look at what kind of money it brings to my state. And a lot of people, they don't worry about what happens in the future. They'll kick the
We
problem
just went
down the
over
road.
this. We just went over this, sir. I just explained to you that no matter how much money it would bring to your state, you would never let slavery come back, right? Would you ever enslave people again for money?
No,
Okay, great. So no matter how much money you'd get, you would never enslave a person. So why is it all of a sudden that you would enslave animals for money? What's the difference morally?
we kind of keep going back in circles. My state makes money off of two things: cattle and oil.
I understand that, sir. The issue is that you're still harming animals that don't have to be harmed. Number two, we can transition off of animal agriculture. We can transition over into plant-based agriculture. So I think that there's no reason to think that your state's going to suffer. There's always money to be made somewhere, and even in the plant-based agriculture. And we've already seen this. And many farmers in Texas and other states are transitioning out of animal farming and into plant-based farming. But again, I don't see justification for doing this to the animals just for money.
Because Americans are greedy. They like that dollar bill. Does somebody have a calculator in the chat?
But do you think this is a good reason? Look, but do you think this is a good justification to slaughter animals because it makes you some money?
Me, I own a barbecue restaurant. I make more money doing this than I have anything else.
Right.
At the end of the day, I have family to feed. At the end of the day, it's about the dollar.
Exactly. So imagine if we had barbecue people. Imagine if we have a restaurant that barbecue people. Would that be okay to you?
Barbecue what?
People.
People. Oh, we're cannibalizing. Oh, I don't know if I could say that or not. I guess I can because you didn't say it. No. Well, I could think of a few people that, you know.
Sir, can you please engage here? Can you please answer the question? If we had a barbecue restaurant that we barbecued people in because it made us money, would that be good to you? Would that be a good thing to you?
It depends on who it was. If these were people that committed crimes,
shit, bro. Holy shit. Holy shit. You would murder people and barbecue them.
And sell them. And sell the meat.
Yeah, he's definitely from Texas. Wow. Okay. Well, unfortunately, guys, I can't debate Jeffrey Dahmer. I can't do that. I can't defeat Jeffrey Dahmer. If you think it's okay to be a cannibal, I can't stop. There's no way I'm going to make you vegan. Hi, how are you?
Hey, can you?
Yeah,
Is it Mike or is it Michael?
Mike.
Okay, Mike. So which one of these are we tackling first?
Whatever your best one, your favorite one is.
Are we debating or are we just have a discussion?
Do you have an argument?
Well, sure. So let's go ahead and talk about humans are causing climate change. You know, the animals are too. You understand?
Okay.
I mean, I've watched your lives before. You're a smart pup. Like, I know you understand that.
What's your point, sir?
We gotta create a balance. So we can't go vegan and let these cows just deteriorate on our atmosphere. So, you know,
Why?
the
What does
Lord
it?
give
What
us,
does that
and then
mean,
this all
sir? I'm
ties in with
sorry. I'm
God
sorry.
not
Let me
being
stop you. Let me
imaginary.
stop you.
Well, hold on now, hold on. I will just make my final point, and then so this all ties in with God as well. See, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. So, you know, baby cow gets born, cow grows up,
Yeah.
contributes to climate change. And then you
The
gotta
problem is,
put
sir,
one down, and then you eat it, and you
the
get
problem
healthy.
is that
A
we are
part
the
of
ones breeding billions of cows into existence in the first place.
Well,
And
they're
that's
going to
why
do
it's
it
bad.
themselves. Cows are just like us. They like to screw.
Yeah, but we're the ones who are making them be screwed into existence. Do you
Now, are you
understand?
saying that cows
We
would be
breed
extinct had
billions
we
of
not
cows
been
every year.
factory farming?
We breed billions of cows every year.
Now, are you saying they would go extinct had we not introduced factory farming, Mike?
You understand that we are the ones causing these animals to breed into existence and to destroy the earth? Do you
Breed
understand we're
into
the ones doing it?
existence. So they would be extinct? Is that what you're telling me? Have we
What's
not?
Why would you want to perpetuate torture? Why would you want to do that? Because oh, they might go extinct. Are you justifying slaughtering
No, I
somebody
don't want
because
them
they're
to go
alive?
extinct. But I don't want them to go extinct. Mike, you're a smart pup. You understand where I'm coming from.
Nobody said they're going to go extinct. That's not
I thought that's
necessarily
what you were
entailed by it.
insinuating by saying that we're
No, what we're
perpetuating their.
insinuating is to reduce the amount of animals we're fucking breeding into existence. That's all.
Okay, I think I can understand. I mean, I can't agree with
Okay,
you
great. So
100%, but
what justifies slaughtering animals to you?
well, they don't feel pain
But they do. Right? All animals feel pain.
to an extent, but you know, they get it's quick pain, quick death.
Okay. Do you think it's okay for me to kill a child if it's a quick death?
Well, now what did the child do?
Nothing. They were innocent. Should we go ahead and kill them because it
Well,
was a quick death?
do they provide sustenance to the entire human species the way that a cow does?
Yeah, children have meat in their bodies. Should we go ahead and
So
kill
you
children
want
if
to
it's
eat
quick and easy?
children or what, Mike? I'm not sure where you're going with this.
I think you're fucking like drunk or something. Are you drunk,
Well,
sir?
I mean, it is Friday and it's 6:40,
All right.
so I
can't
might have
believe
had
we're
2
talking to
beers.
this. I can't believe I'm talking to somebody who's intoxicated. Holy shit. I can't do this. I just can't.
Yeah, when it comes to veganism, humans are like way more rational.
I agree.
And
And
you
what's
can't
your point?
compare a human and an animal, like, you know what I mean?
Would you okay, so you're saying that we get to slaughter animals because they're not rational?
Exactly.
Okay. What if there was a person who was not rational? They were disabled mentally such that they had the same
But they're still
intelligence
part of the human species, you know what I mean? Could I kill a disabled pig? Would you be okay with that?
Okay, so you're saying that what justifies raping a dog is because we're a different species than them.
Yeah, I'm rational.
Okay, great. So you think it's okay to go up to a random dog who's innocent and start raping it?
Well, I don't think dogs are okay. That's just my personal belief. But
But
for
they're
some
different
people,
species. But they're different species.
look, for some people, dogs is alright. But for me, I don't like killing dogs. You know what I mean?
Oh, why don't you like killing dogs? I thought you said that just before that they were different species, and that grants you the right to harm them.
Because I see dogs as pets. That's just my personal belief, you know? But if
Oh,
someone
okay.
wants to kill a dog, I don't have anything wrong with that.
Okay, so if somebody went up to a dog and just started slaughtering it with a knife, that'd be okay to you?
It's their choice.
That would be okay. That would be morally okay to you to go up to a dog and just slit its neck open.
Yeah, why not?
You think it's okay to go up to a dog who's innocent and slit its neck open?
Well, it's up to the people if they want to do that.
Do you think it's okay, sir, to do that?
Yes, if they want to do it.
Wow. Oh, okay. Do you think it's okay to go up to a person and just slit their neck open? Is that okay?
No.
Okay, thank God. So why is it okay to slit a dog's neck open, but it's wrong to slit a person's neck open? What's the difference morally?
Because we're more rational.
Okay, what if this person was mentally disabled? They had no rationality at all. Would you slit their neck open?
But then again, we're part of the human species that are rational. You
Okay, great.
understand?
So now it comes down to the species.
Can I ask you something? Would you
So
be
now it
okay
comes
if
down
I
to the
killed a disabled
species.
pig? If I killed a disabled pig, or would you be okay with that?
What?
If I killed a disabled pig, would you be okay with that?
You killed it? No, I don't think it's wrong to kill. I think it's wrong to kill any animal if you don't have to kill them. That's the entire point here, right?
Yeah,
I'm
and
trying to
that's my
show you
point.
that it's wrong.
That's my point. Humans, doesn't matter if they're disabled, they're part of that species. You understand?
I understand that we're a different species here, but I don't think being part of a species justifies slaughtering somebody or raping them, right? So again, do you think it's justified to rape a dog because they're a different species?
Well, if you believe so, yes.
Are you there, sir?
Yeah, something wrong?
Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's okay to harm a dog, slaughter them, and rape
Yeah, I
them?
said yes.
Okay, but they're different species, so it's not species. What is it? Why do you get to help a dog but kill a pig?
Wait, what was the question? I didn't hear you. Did you say kill a dog?
Why is it wrong to harm a dog but okay to harm a pig? What's the difference?
When did I say it's wrong to harm a dog? I didn't say that.
So it's
I
okay
just
to harm a dog?
I'm just saying, in my personal belief, I wouldn't harm a dog, but I'm not saying it's wrong. You understand?
So it's okay to go up to a dog, in your view, and slit their neck open. That's okay to you, right?
Yes.
Why is it wrong to do this to a person, but okay to do it to a dog?
Because humans are rational.
What if it was a person who was not rational? Would you think it's okay to slit their neck open? Yes or no?
Yeah, but they're part of the human species, which are
Okay,
rational.
so it's species. So it's species. So what? So the
I don't
only
think you
thing
get my
that allows,
point.
so the only thing that makes you justified to harm a dog or rape a dog is the species, right?
What the species like is, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, great. So what if tomorrow we found out that some people were a different species, right? Some of us were a
yeah.
different species. Let's say, for example, Asian people were a different species. Would
What do
you
you
think
mean
it's
by
then
what do you
okay to
mean by
go?
different species?
Would
Like
you,
they're a dog or something? Or
they're a different species.
well, if they were, I would find it okay to kill them. If they're different species, yeah.
If tomorrow we found out Asian people were a different species,
Yeah.
you would go ahead and grape and murder Asian people.
Well, I would find it okay. Because
You
I
would
just
you would find that okay.
if they weren't considered a human, I
You
would
would go
find it
ahead and
okay.
murder Asian people. Okay. Have a good day, sir. See, this is what we have to combat as vegans, right? This is like the mental gymnastics people go through. Like I refuse to think that guy was serious. Like I truly do. I truly refuse to think that guy was serious. I think that when we go along down this line of reasoning, people become so kind of dissonant about this. They don't want to accept that what they're doing is wrong. They're trying to find any way to justify it. I don't think killing anybody for. Look at what they're saying, guys. Oh, look, this person has a different genetic code than me, so let me go ahead and slaughter them. I think that's completely wrong. I think that most of us agree that just because someone's a different species or a different animal, it doesn't give us the right to harm them. But that's just me.
Hello. Um, okay, so with your vegan argument, so when you that, so from what it sounds like from what you're saying to people, you're comparing humans to people in a lot of ways. So like, oh, if I can kill a pig, then is it okay to kill a human? Okay. So I'm going to assume that you believe that all animals and people are all the same value.
Not the same value, but I think that humans, all animals should have rights like humans do.
Okay. Okay. Well, do you think it's wrong for a dog to kill a rabbit or a tiger to kill an elk?
Yeah, it depends on the context. I mean, yeah, if the animal has to do it, if they have no other option, yeah, I think it's perfectly okay. But also, I don't think it's as wrong as the human does it because they don't have rationality like we do, right? They don't have stores, but we do have stores. We can choose what we eat. Animals can't.
I find it interesting that you have evolution is a fact under Go Vegan, because if we didn't have access to, our evolutionary history is based off of us being meat eaters at one point in time.
Okay. Our
We
history
wouldn't
also,
be
our
evolved to what
history.
we are without being
No, that's not
eating.
true. Yeah, that's not true at all. There's no evidence that eating meat made us human necessarily. But even if it did, who cares? We no longer have to eat meat today. There's no need to do it. So what
B12 does not exist within anything other than animal products.
what
With
is
the
what is
exception,
what is so what does B12 come from?
B12, it comes from milk and meat and animal products.
Like what generates B12?
I have no idea.
Bacteria. Bacteria generates B12 in soil, and B12 is found in all kinds of plant-based foods, right? Mushrooms, duckweed, tofu,
It's not.
nutritional yeast, all the
It's
above have B12 in them. I can get plenty of B12 as a vegan. It's not in meat. It's
it's
actually
in.
found in all plants.
I have been vegan before. You cannot find it within anything other than fortified foods.
Oh no,
It is.
mushrooms have it. Well, mushrooms have it too. Tofu has it. Nutritional yeast has tons of B12 in it. Maybe it just didn't look hard enough, right? But also, I would say that even if it's only in fortified foods, it's still better to eat a fortified food than to slaughter a poor animal.
I respect your belief. I don't get it, especially if you believe that.
No, look, everybody says this. Oh, I respect your belief, but it's not about respecting my belief. It's about, look, you are slaughtering and raping animals by the billions, right? So what
Raping?
justifies raping animals to you? Why do you do it?
Raping? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, so do you know that we have to breed cows into existence in farms?
You act as if that shit doesn't exist within
No,
like
man, you're not listening.
nature.
You're not
Like,
listening. You're not listening to me. Do you understand the process by which we breed animals? Did you know we actually have to jack off animals, make them ejaculate, and then take their sperm and semen and inject it into a cow's ass, a cow's
and
vagina?
you act as
Did you
if
know
that
that?
isn't much crueler than what is already happening within the
That
wilderness.
is that
It's
is
a
sexual
circle of
assault.
life.
That is sexual assault,
That's
man.
how the world works.
But it's sexual assault.
And you know animals don't ask for consent, right?
That's exactly the problem. They don't consent to this. So why would you assault somebody sexually against their consent?
I don't think female animals in the wild ask for consent either.
So why would you sexually assault them and pay for it?
It literally exists. You hold humans to a higher standard than animals, but you don't when it fits your agenda of what you're trying to portray.
Nice pivot, man. Nice dodge, man. But why do you
You
support the
dodge all the
slaughtering?
time.
Why
People
do you
say
sup-
that you literally compare a dog to a human in order to make your point valid.
What's the
in
morally
order
relevant
to
difference? What's the morally relevant difference?
there are many morally relevant differences.
Name one difference that justifies
We are more
slaughtering and raping them.
emotionally and psychologically and morally developed than dogs are.
Okay. Did you know that babies are not as developed as dogs in terms of their psyche and emotions? So would it be okay to you to slaughter babies and eat them as cheeseburgers because they're not as psychologically developed?
That's the most retarded argument ever.
Because they're not as developed as. So then why is it okay for animals to do it in the wild, but how come we are not allowed to? That literally makes no sense. But then you're saying that humans are held to a different standard.
Man, we don't get our ethics from animals. I mean, do you eat your own shit like animals do because the animals do it? Do you eat shit? Do you moo? Do you walk on all fours all the time?
But you're
because
also saying there's
the
no
animals
that.
do it?
But
Do
you're
you
saying
walk
there's
around
no
naked?
difference.
You walk around naked because the animals do it? You climb on trees because the animals do it? No, we don't get our ethics from animals, man. We are human. We have choices. We can choose to do what's right, what's ethical. You don't have to harm these animals at all. Why do you do it?
Where does right and wrong come from your understanding? Is it
The
subjective to your
consequences
belief?
to our actions, the consequences to our actions, that's how we know what's right or wrong. By
From
looking
your
at people,
understanding.
by listening to others, by listening to what they feel and think and what they're doing. You're not doing that. You think it's okay to sexually assault somebody. And that's wrong.
Whoa.
You literally really do dodge, and you dodge hard, and it's sad. Okay.
How
Okay.
ironic.
Yeah, for real. What the fuck? All right. So I gotcha. I gotcha. Wow.
Is that all? Is that all you had today?
Yeah.
You're not going to actually provide a justification for why you sexually assault others and why you slaughter them in factories?
Sexually assault others. Okay. Such
Yeah,
a
why do you
holier
do
than
this?
thou attitude. How?
Why do you harm animals, man? What justifies that?
What justifies harming animals? What justifies animals harming other animals in
They don't have
like
stores.
what?
They don't have stores. We do.
So what? That literally since the beginning of time, if you believe in evolution, then you believe in prehistoric humans. We have done that, and we are evolutionarily
We also,
developed to
okay,
do
in
that.
our evolution, we also ate people. A lot of our ancestors were cannibals. Should we be cannibals today because our ancestors did it?
Literally irrelevant.
It's the same thing, ma'am. It's meat.
It's
It's
not.
meat. It's meat.
So why are we different than other animals?
Meat. You're
Why are
gonna
we
be a
different than
cannibal,
other
man, because
animals?
your ancestors did it. This is pathetic. Just because our ancestors ate meat doesn't mean we get to too. Our ancestors also enslaved people. Should we enslave others because our ancestors did it?
That is
That's
a
embarrassing.
you make horrible, you associate people's arguments with the absolute extreme, and it's demeaning, and it's just false and a horrible way to argue with people.
Well, I haven't seen your justification for doing this to the animals.
Justification? I haven't heard you present evidence either.
Of what? What claim?
For why is it not okay to kill animals?
Because you're
Why is it
harming
okay for
animals.
animals?
Because you're making them suffer
Okay.
tremendously. Do you think
Okay,
that's okay to
so
make
do
dogs
dogs
suffer?
eat rabbits? Is it not okay for a dog to eat a rabbit?
They have to survive. They do it for whatever. They do it
So
because
we
they don't
have
have the
since
same
the beginning
rationality.
of time until we got grocery stores, which wasn't
Yeah, we have
really
stores now.
acceptable.
We have stores. We have choices. And with choices comes responsibility.
So
What's
why
more
are we held
responsible?
to that regardless?
What's more responsible, to eat a plant or kill a cow for food or kill a pig when you don't have to? What's more responsible, ma'am?
Who determines this? How does this?
We do. We are moral agents, man.
But
We
other
have the ability
animals
to
don't.
emote. What?
So how is that? How is that not held to the same standard of since the beginning of time? Who came up with this to make
Nobody came
eating?
up. Nobody
So
came up with it,
okay,
man.
so you pulled it out of your
a
ass
product
and
of
you're
us
pushing it on
understanding.
people?
Look, it's a product of us understanding that we don't have to eat meat anymore. We have stores. We have
That
options.
is
We have society.
literally not true.
Okay, why do we have to eat meat?
What I said earlier, B12, it's
B12,
important.
B12 is found in all kinds of plants like mushrooms, nutritional yeast, fortified foods, duckweed, all kinds
It's
of
not.
great foods.
It's
Tofu.
not. It's not. It's
Oh,
literally not.
do you have a source that says I can't get B12?
I have literally gone to nutritionists and been vegan. You cannot get it through
Okay, great.
anything else
Do you
other
have
than
a
food.
source? Do you have a source that says B12 does not exist in any plant-based foods?
A long history of medical professionals in my family, as well as going to nutritional classes.
Okay, great. So no source. Do you have a source that says vegans
You?
cannot get B12? Do you have a
Do
source
you?
for that?
Do you?
Yeah, I have a source that shows you we can. It's called the position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. It says that a well-planned plant-based diet is suitable for all stages of life. I can get all the nutrients I need and fortified products and all the above. I can get all the nutrients I need.
Literally told you my source. Medical. Just literally medical.
That's not a
I
source,
have been
though.
discouraged.
That's not a source, though, right?
Okay, I haven't looked it up on a fucking article, but I've had a
That's the
long
problem,
history.
right? Next time you come and debate me, bring a source. You don't have one.
You
That's why you're
fucking have
crying.
sources for nothing.
I
You've
just gave
given
you one.
absolutely fucking
I
sources.
literally just gave you a source. This is a meta-analysis of thousands of doctors across the world
This
who
is
say that well-planned vegan diets are suitable for all stages of life. I can get B12 and the things I mentioned: fortified foods, tofu, beans, all these
fortified.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's wrong with fortified foods? You already get B12 from your fortified cows.
but it doesn't naturally start there. Like we literally like
We inject B12 in cows, ma'am. Did you know that?
inject it literally is within meat and animal-based
Because we
foods.
inject it into them. We inject
No, we
B12
don't.
into cows.
No, we
That's why they
don't.
have B12 in them.
No,
Yes.
we don't. We
Yes, we
don't.
do. For many of the cows you eat, we inject B12 into them. It's fortified. It doesn't come from animals necessarily. It also can come from bacteria in soil. You don't have to eat meat for B12.
And even if it was, it is not enough. B12 is essential
Yeah,
for
I get plenty of
DNA
B12.
development.
Yeah, I get plenty of B12 in all kinds of fortified foods as well as mushrooms and things like that. B12 is found in nutritional yeast. One serving has like I think 200% of your daily value.
Of B12?
Yep.
It doesn't.
Okay, I'll show you a source.
Okay, go for
Nutritional
it.
yeast B12 serving. 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast provides more than 7 times the amount of daily required B12. This is coming from medicalnewstoday.com. Top 5 nutritional yeast benefits and how to use it.
Is it fortified? Because
Nope.
99% of the time it is,
No, it's found in nutritional yeast, ma'am.
which is fortified.
No,
Probably.
it's nutritional yeast. But there's also fortified foods you can get B12 in.
It's literally not. Like I have medical issues and I have gone to a nutritionist and they have told me do not do a vegan diet because you will not get the amount of B12 that you need.
Did you talk to a plant-based nutritionist?
Who the fuck cares?
Well, that's the problem, right? Some people can be biased. I would get multiple decisions, multiple different experts on this, and I would actually do your own research because the research shows you that you can get B12 as a vegan. That's an old garbage nonsense thing to say.
But you may not, even if you did, it's not nearly enough and it is essential.
What's
Essential
enough?
for human health.
How much B12 is enough? We get 7 times the daily requirement from 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast.
It's never heard that in my life. I have a whole family of medical people.
I gave you several sources. I don't know why you continue not like disregarding them, you know?
I didn't disregard.
So you also
But
consider that
I still believe that you're acting like eating meat is a completely unproductive thing, period, always.
Oh,
but
it's not productive. It's just toxic and unethical.
toxic
why do-
and unethical.
Yeah, why do you harm animals if you don't have to when you can get B12 from vegan foods? Take your time.
You literally, I just don't understand your moral, like, why is it more bad for me, an animal, according to probably your logic, if you believe in evolution, to kill another animal, when that's always been how it is, and that's always will be how it will always be.
But we
I
don't
want
have
to
to
know
do it
your
anymore.
moral
We don't have to
understanding.
anymore. We don't have to anymore, ma'am. We can stop doing that. I did it 6 years ago. I stopped eating animal products 6 years ago.
That doesn't, just because that works for you, that does not mean that that's good for everybody.
You're right. But the problem is that the evidence is overwhelmingly against you. The evidence demonstrates that 99.9% of people who are eating a well-planned plant-based diet will be and can be healthy. This is the position of nutritionists around the world.
Not for everybody.
Well, For you, you
So if
can.
it
Anybody,
doesn't work, so if it should just
99% of people can be 100% plant-based with no medical issues. This is what the data shows you. I just gave you sources on that.
how literally, if it works for you, then it works for you, and awesome. And I think that there are a lot of good things about being vegan, but you
can work
can't
for you
assume
too,
that that
man.
works for everybody,
But it
especially
can work.
since
It can work for you too, man.
no, it can't. You don't know my medical history.
Yeah, the problem is that veganism is not a diet. It's
I
not
have
a
been
diet.
discouraged by doctors
Look,
and
look,
nutritionists going vegan.
look.
But
Veganism is not a diet, right? Even if for some reason you have to get, animal products in your diet for some reason, medically speaking, that would be okay. You can still be vegan. Veganism doesn't mean that, no animal ever dies. What it means is you do what's practicable. In other words, do what you possibly can as much in as much as you can be successful at it. It means doing the best you can with what you have. And it seems like you're just disregarding the fact that you are harming animals for no good reason for the large part. And it seems like you have failed when it comes to the B12 situation. You can get B12 from plant-based foods. It seems like you're just making excuse after excuse.
Well, I understand. So I just don't understand by the basis by which you've decided this is wrong, considering, I mean, I'm going to assume you're an atheist or agnostic. By what basis do you base this as wrong, considering it hasn't been wrong until up to
Because
now?
we now know that plants, pigs and chickens and cows are sentient. They feel, they cry, they get depressed, they get anxiety. They hear things that we can't hear. They suffer in ways that we can't suffer. They have experiences like we do, and we now know this. That's why it's wrong to me, because I see the consequences to my actions. I saw it. I saw cows suffering in factories, and I stopped doing that. It's called taking into consideration the ones around you. Recognize the consequences to your actions. I don't need God for that. I can do it myself. We can have our own morality based on the real world.
Okay. But that may be how your truth, but that may not be somebody else's truth.
Okay.
Maybe
The
somebody
problem
doesn't view
is,
death the
the
way that
problem
you view
is,
death. Maybe death is not as bad of a thing as you're making it out to be. I would
well,
argue that
look
the
at how much death
wilderness
you're
is a
causing.
lot worse place for these farmers' cows to
But
be.
but look at
And
how much unnecessary harm you're causing, right? Look at how much unnecessary suffering and death. 90 billion animals a year around the world are being slaughtered for you and people like you, right? I mean, the amount of suffering is immense, and the amount of utility, the amount of benefits we get from going vegan is so much greater. So to me, it's like, why would you want to harm an animal when there's so many greater things you can do by being vegan, right? To me, that's the point here. You're causing so much unnecessary harm for very bad reasons,
why is death harm?
because life is
It's a
precious
part
to
of
me.
life.
I think I love my life, and I don't want to take it away from anybody else. When I see a dog, I don't want to go, oh, let's kill it, let's cut its life short. I want to preserve the dog. I want to make dogs live as long as they have, as long as they can, just like every other animal, man, just like you and me. I don't want to kill anybody if I don't have to.
Oh, trust me. I get it. I work for the 988 Suicide and Crisis Line. I have a very strong passion about preserving life, but at the same time, death is a part of life. Death is a part of life, and I would argue again.
But it doesn't have to be so short. So you don't have to be so short-sighted about this. Look, yes, we all die, but the problem is the experience we're giving these animals is so terrible that their lives are cut so short that it's not worth eating. It's not worth partaking in. That's the point here.
I would agree absolutely that there is an issue with the way that animals are treated between the way that they treat them. Absolutely.
Yeah, so why do you partake in this? Why do you pay for these animals to be slaughtered? Why do you pay for these animals to be assaulted sexually? Why do you do this?
Okay, the sexual assault part's a little extreme because you literally are
It's not
basing
extreme.
this
It's
off
reality,
as
man.
if
It's
you're having
reality.
conversations in the wild, asking for consent, and that these animals are living long anyway. They're not, and I would argue
Ma'am,
to say that
I'm
the
sorry,
wilderness
but do you
isn't
know
cruel.
how long cows, male cows live for veal?
In the wilderness, how long?
No, there are no such thing as wild cows. All cows are domesticated, and most of them are in factories right now as we speak. 9 billion cows we kill every year. And the cows that are male, farmers don't see them as useful. So what they do is they kill them 1 to 2 years old, right? Not even that, sometimes less than a year old. Look, the point is, cows can live long lives and have great experiences. They have family just as we have family. And you're cutting their lives short. You're assaulting them. You're making their lives miserable, stuffed in cages where they can't move, they can't breathe, and they get infections, they get disease. Look at how terrible you're making these animals' lives when you can stop it. Easily stop it.
It
why I'm
would
vegan.
not be easily stopped. No. Like I said,
All you have to do is stop
there
eating
are
it. All you got to do is stop eating it.
good luck.
It's
Good
not good
luck
luck. It
with
doesn't
your
take luck, ma'am.
mission.
It takes effort. It takes an ounce of effort. It's not that hard.
It is hard, especially for
It's not
people
hard.
who
It's not hard to stop eating on products. And it's not extreme. What's extreme is stuffing pigs in gas chambers. What's extreme is raping animals. That's extreme to me. But you're doing that.
I'm doing that. How am I doing that?
Every time you pay for meat or steak or bacon, you're paying for farmers and people to sexually assault these animals by breeding them into existence, artificially inseminating them, right? This is the point you're doing. This is the whole point. You're causing these animals to do this, to go through living hell.
I just still don't understand your moral concept behind comparing normal animals to us because you say we don't have to.
We are animals, man. We are animals.
I would argue that vegan plant-based people have a very strong bias in regards to the way they read medical stuff as well. Absolutely.
Why is this even relevant to the topic, man? What justifies
It is
starving
relevant to
animals?
the topic because you're discrediting the fact that eating meat has been necessary up until 5 years ago, 50 years ago, whenever the hell this whole
Okay,
thing.
so you agree that we no longer have to eat meat?
I believe we do. I genuinely, I have been
Why do we have to
discouraged.
eat meat? Why do we have to eat
I've
meat?
been discouraged by medical professionals with my medical situation from going vegan.
Why? What was their evidence that you cannot be vegan?
They didn't give me evidence. They just discouraged me heavily.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
Okay, I don't have a
if you're gonna just listen to whatever somebody says, that's an appeal to authority. What I would do is research, talk to a nutritionist, and get the data on it.
I
right?
did.
So what was the data that shows you cannot get B12 as a vegan?
I was discouraged from my doctor.
That's not a nutritionist.
Okay, well, I told you I went to a nutritionist and they said discourage me as well.
Okay, great. So what was the data they presented to you?
They didn't give me data. They just
Then
discouraged
go
it.
ask for data next time. Ask
They
for
told me
data.
about the
Ask-
B12
ask
thing.
for the
That's
data.
what they told me was the B12 thing.
I understand that, man. But there's a lot of bias in nutritionists, in
And there
people.
isn't within radical veganism.
There's bias everywhere, but the problem is the evidence is against you and your nutritionist. The evidence is overwhelmingly in my
I
favor.
read an
because-
article that the whole medical industry is probably against what you are portraying for everybody in the whole world.
That doesn't matter. What matters is the evidence is on my side. You can get B12 from plant-based foods, fortified foods, and you agree with me. There's no need to kill an animal to get meat.
For you. That's not for everybody.
There's no need to eat meat for anybody who has a store next to them.
But where's your basis it makes no sense to me. I don't understand having the passion for that, considering you yourself don't believe in the concept of right and wrong, period.
I do.
By what? By
Listening
what
to the consequences of my
abortion?
actions I don't need God for ethics. I don't need God for morality. I don't need to read a Bible to know that it's wrong to kill somebody. The Bible also allows slavery. Your Bible allows grape too, right? I'm sorry, man, but I don't need God for ethics.
It doesn't
Ethics,
allow slavery. It
yes, it
doesn't.
absolutely does. Exodus
Where?
21:7.
That's the freaking Old Testament, dude.
But that was your
Jesus
God's
came.
that was your
Jesus
God's
came
laws.
to perfect the law. Jesus came to perfect the law.
Oh, so he changed this morality.
No, they
He
didn't
got it
have the full
wrong. He got it
picture.
wrong the first time, then he changed it in the sequel.
God, ancient humans did the best with what they had in regards to what they knew about God. They didn't have the full picture, though. That's why Jesus came to give the full picture.
So you get your morality from a book that you can't rely on being God's word, right? You just pretend it's
Absolutely
God's
can.
word.
That's why Jesus came.
Okay, great. So in the New Testament, where in Timothy it's 2:12, it says that women should be silenced. Do you agree with that too? Is that good moral, good ethics to
That is
silence women?
incredibly out of context, and I believe that women should be women and men have roles.
Do you think
Women-
women should be silenced in church? Do you think women should be persecuted in church for speaking up?
Do you want to speak on this?
I'm not in this. I'm not in this. I would have to get in before I wait my turn.
Repeat your question.
In 2 Timothy, it says in the New Testament that women should be silenced in church. Do you agree with that ethics?
Within the context, within the Jewish culture at the time, with what was going on, yes.
So you think women should not speak in church? They should be silenced in church.
That is not what that means.
Yes, it does. That's
No,
what it
it
says.
doesn't. No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
it does.
No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, get on Wikipedia.
Well, you're the one who's saying it's not. Here, what it says is,
You
I
think
do
that-
not permit a woman to teach or exercise authority over a man. She is to remain quiet.
Because at the time, and still today, gender roles, I believe in the importance of gender roles. And man represents
Ma'am, you're not. You're
God
pivoting. You're
in
avoiding
church,
the.
in
You're
the
avoiding it.
church.
You're avoiding it, ma'am. You're avoiding it. I just
No,
raised
I'm
the problem.
telling you right now what the context of that verse.
What's the
is what I'm
context in which we should silence women and not allow them to be authorities?
Within church yes, because man and woman play a role within the church, and that is symbolic
So you
of
think
God
it's okay?
and the church, and
So
the
you think-
importance of
so
that
you-
two roles.
Right. So you think that women should not be able to have authority? Women should be silenced. Do you agree? You think that's good
I
ethic?
believe. Yeah, go ahead.
No, like you can't argue. His argument gets further and further removed from the conversation because he's trying to get you heated and manipulate your emotions. That's why he's bringing up a topic that's related to women. He's
Stop
trying to emotionally.
Stop gaslighting and answer
That's
the
not
question. Is it right or wrong?
That's how you argue. Is you're just trying to take this and make it something it's not, and then grandalizing it into something it's not. But you're not listening to me. You didn't even let me talk.
The further you can remove from source material, the easier it is to make a convoluted argument. That's what he's doing. He's removing
Is it
from
right or
source
wrong,
material.
guys?
He's
Is it
trying
right or
get
wrong to
off
silence
track.
women? Right or wrong?
See.
See, you make an absolute statement that's removed from context. You remove
Is it
something
wrong?
from context.
Is
and
this,
make an
is
absolute
this
statement.
verse right or wrong to silence
you make
women
that-
in church?
You make
At the
See,
time,
you
within the
can't-
context, within the understanding of it, yes, at the time.
At
You
the
can't remove
time, so
context.
you're saying at the time it was okay to silence women, but not today.
In the context of that, in the context, yes, but you're leaving out context. You're not providing context. You're asking a statement in the absolute.
You're talking about
evidence.
guys.
and
I'm asking you, right? I'm asking you. Do you think it
context-
was okay back
the
then and
context
wrong
of that
today?
verse- the context of that verse is that was written by the Apostle Paul to the church, the church that Timothy was reading, where a specific group of women within that culture, within that context, were teaching things that were known to be Gnostic. They were not religious teaching. So Paul is addressing a specific group of people who were teaching things that were not biblical and not
Where in the
not.
context does it say that? It says,
It's-
"I do
it's
not permit a woman to teach or exercise authority over a man. She is to remain quiet."
We get
Dude, if you like, I get your thing is nutrition stuff, so don't teach the Bible if you haven't studied the Bible, or it's like
Stop with this Christian garbage. I'm tired of this shit. Your Bible is an atrocity. Your Bible allows slaughtering, raping. Your Bible allows murder. Your Bible is a
Doesn't.
disgusting atrocity. This verse especially,
You
which
just
says
greatly
we should silence
misunderstand it
women.
for what it is,
So
and
either
you
justify
think you have
justify
all
this
the
shit,
answers, and I'm so happy for you, but
justify
dude, you're an asshole.
justify your garbage book or go away. You're wasting our fucking time.
Wow. Okay.
Good talk.
Thank
Bye.
you. So you can't justify your Bible, right? See, this is the
I
problem.
thought we just
You
did.
can't
We
justify
just
it.
gave.
So then you agree that we should silence women in church today?
Oh my gosh, he literally is not hearing anything we're saying. You have
Yes or
absolutely
no?
no room in your head for nuance in any of these situations.
It's a yes or no, ma'am.
I'm so.
No, it's not. That's the issues that you
Do you
simplify
think we
things to
should
yes or
silence
no.
women
No,
in church? Yes
It's
or
not
no?
a yes or no answer. It is a.
See,
What's
that's
the
the thing.
answer?
Is
What's the
you,
answer?
when you choose to phrase a question in the way that's the most opportune for you, that's the
What's the
issue. Is
answer?
that
Just
you're
what's
not
the
at-
answer? What's the answer?
Yes, we said yes at the time within that context of what the goal
At the
was
time?
with
How about
that
today?
scripture.
I asked about today. Is it okay today to do that?
with that's you're trying to take something that's ridiculous. You're trying to remove something from its context and apply it as a blanket statement. That doesn't apply to anything.
It seems like you're scared to answer the question.
We just
Because
said
you know
yes
it's
within
fucking
the
wrong. You
context,
know
but
it's
it's not a
fucking
yes or no
wrong.
answer.
You know it's fucking wrong to do this in church. You know it's wrong to silence women. You guys fucking know it.
That is
By the way, does your God's morality ever change?
No.
It's always correct, right?
dude. He doesn't. You can't argue him in the Bible because he doesn't
Is
understand.
God's morality always right?
Is morality of the Bible always right? Yes. It's been
Okay.
has been current for
So
thousands
why
of
did you
years.
say the first thing was it's the Old Testament? I thought it remained today
Because
morally good.
Because it's a moral law written to immoral people. You have to understand the context of what the people in the time were doing. God wasn't writing to advanced normal people. God was
Oh,
speaking.
in what context is it okay to own a child as a sex slave, like Exodus 21:7 says?
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, whoa, that's what your Bible says.
No, it's not.
Okay, so
Go
you
read
can
it.
quote,
Exodus,
you can
go
quote a
read Exodus
whole lot of
21:7.
you can quote a whole lot of things without historical or context and make it sound
Go
like
read
whatever you want.
Exodus 21:7, jackass, and go read your Bible of garbage. It's a piece of shit book.
Why do you have such strong why do you have such strong opinions about something
Because
that you
your
claim to be
religion,
false?
because
Okay,
you are
so
here today basing your entire religion on a 2,000-year-old book of fairy tales, which now is harming others and sexually assaulting
Wow.
others today.
I'm
Your
so
ethics is hinged on this ancient book of fairy tales, and it's appalling to me, right? To me, it's like, grow up. We live in the 21st century. We know a lot more today than we ever did 2,000 years ago.
And I
Your
would argue that
morality
we
can
have
be updated.
found within
Your
science
morality.
that there is more evidence that God is real than ever.
Oh, you really want to do this? You want to talk about God? Are you sure?
Do you believe in the multiverse? Do you believe in string theory?
Are you sure you want to do this with me, ma'am? I don't think you do. I don't think you know me.
I don't think he's worth talking to.
I don't
Like,
think you know me.
he's just going to present out of context evidence of a bunch like
I know.
that's-
I have a question. Why do you have strong feelings about the Bible and Christianity because you say it's been really damaging to people?
Absolutely.
How has the cause of
Your talk today was a clear demonstration that your entire ethics hinges on this book, which you think allows you to harm animals for no fucking reason. That's a clear example of why it's wrong. Also, Christians are against abortion, right? That now you're stopping women from having bodily rights.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of Christians are against gay marriage. We just got it passed a few years ago, right? That's as well wrong. A lot of Christians are gender critical. I think that's ridiculous. They're against trans rights and LGBT rights. So there's a lot of reasons why I think religion, your religion specifically, is very dangerous and toxic.
I think that you're dangerous and toxic.
Okay. That's the most stereotypical argument for all those things, but You have no room for nuance.
Oh, do you think
You
that
have
people that are
absolutely no room. It's your way or the highway.
so okay?
And
So like
there's no
Leviticus.
nuance in these broad, vast conversations about existence and God and eat food and like it's your way or the highway. You figured it all out, and it's
How ironic that you do this with your God, right? You pretend God is the biggest, baddest man in the world, and whatever he says, you do. If God came down tomorrow and said, "Go ahead and grape this person," would you do it?
That wouldn't
What?
be God.
Your questions are absolutely ridiculous. When you don't have to ask
You
these
can't answer the question.
questions with no nuance. You don't give people the reason why you genuinely debate well. You debate
He
well.
doesn't debate well. He doesn't debate well. His whole
No.
arguments stem on he argues well because his whole argument is based on making logical things sound illogical. The further you can remove something from reality, that's the whole thing. Is he's trying to remove things from reality, strip context, make extremes. That's literally like what.
And that's not how. Yeah.
In mental health, that's literally like the worst form of argument or discussion. He's literally hinging his on toxic behaviors within conversation. That's his whole argument.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you remove things from reality. You remove things from the context. You
What
remove
am I
things from
removing,
reality.
sir? What am I removing? Leviticus
You
20:13 says you can put someone to death for being gay or having gay sex. I think that's okay too.
Exactly.
what
He
you're
just
talking
did
about.
it. He's not even talking about the conversation anymore.
Okay, what's the context? What's the context in which that's okay?
He can't win his argument. So
You haven't
dude,
answered
like,
a single fucking question. You guys are running away. You're scared with your tail behind your legs.
No, because you don't leave
Oh my
any
God.
room for nuance. You
What's the
literally
nuance? What's the nuance
there is
behind the biblical
nuance.
law?
There's historical context to an
What's the
ancient
context in which it's
historical
okay to
book.
grape somebody? What's the context in which it's okay to own someone as property, like your Bible says? What's the context?
it doesn't matter.
I literally told you the context before,
the
and
thi-
you
the
read it off
issue
like it
is-
was
Doesn't
nothing.
matter.
The
It
issue
doesn't
is
matter.
that
See?
the issue
You
is
don't
that you
have
It
brought
to-
up
doesn't.
one issue. You brought up one issue. You were told context. You said, okay, what about this? 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 You could do that all night. You're gonna have an argument for an argument for an argument for an argument.
You guys are like Neo for the Matrix. You keep dodging all these bullets. It's amazing. It's astounding.
Wow.
There's no
Answer a
dodging.
question for one time in your life. Answer a fucking question. What context is it okay to own a child as property, like Exodus 27 says?
Okay.
What's the context?
The context is the law was imperfect, and the people of that time did the best with the understanding of God that they had, but
I
it
thought
wasn't
but
perfect.
I'm sorry, man, but the Levitical law was God's word and God's law.
It was the 10 Commandments was God's law. A lot of the Mosaic law was God's law,
That's the
but it
Levitical
was not
law. That's
perfect.
Levitical law.
And the
That's Levitical
Israelites
law.
were screwing up left and right all the time, all the time. They were
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
incredibly imperfect.
Exodus and Levitical law, those are God's words. Those are God's laws. That's what the Bible states.
That is the interpretation of God's law at that time, but it was not
So
perfect.
how do you interpret what's God's law, what's not God's law, and what to take seriously? Are you going to say that 10 Commandments are not reliable?
Through Jesus.
Jesus didn't exist in the Old Testament.
I'm saying from current time, Jesus came to fulfill it and
How
perfect
do you
it.
know the Old Testament, where the 10 Commandments lie, how do you know that those are reliable?
How do I know that those were reliable? Because that at the time was necessary for the development of what we now have as Christianity.
So you're saying the law where it says you can kill someone for being gay, that was necessary?
Kill someone for being gay.
Yeah. Leviticus
At the
20:13.
time, they didn't have prison, dude.
You just
They
said that was
they were
necessary.
trying
You-
to reshape a culture
Wait
at
a
the
minute.
time.
You think it would be okay to put someone in jail for being gay?
What are you? See, this is you leave out. You're not listening to me.
Do you think it's okay to kill someone for being gay, or
The way you worded
do you
something
think?
sounded.
Do you guys
Okay,
think having gay sex is
you're
wrong?
You're picking apart word choice. That's not what she meant. You know it. You're picking apart word choice. Because that's what you do. You don't know how to have it. You don't know how to have an intellectual argument. You choose to pick on
The context, then. Go ahead.
choose
Lay
to-
your case.
Dude,
I'm
done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna give the context and then I'm gonna go. But it's been a good talk.
He's a moron.
Historical context to what? What are you asking? About someone being gay? Throwing in jail for being gay?
Yeah, I mean,
In
do
Old Testament?
you think someone should be punished for having gay sex or being LGBT?
Should be like you think.
What?
Should they be punished?
Are you okay?
What?
No, I'm trying to.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Being gay, at the time, they were attempting to literally restructure civilization, because at the time the religions all around them were burning
That's not what I asked you, though. That's not what I asked you. Do you think it's okay to punish somebody?
Trying to understand the question, answer the question.
I'm asking you about today, ma'am. Like today's world. Do you think?
No, it doesn't say that in the new. It does not say that.
I know, but do you think it's okay to punish somebody ever for having gay sex?
Punish somebody? No.
For having gay sex. Okay, great. So
Punish?
then why does your God say it in the Levitical law?
Oh my gosh, I've answered this question 3 times. Like I have.
Dude.
It's the same place you get the Old Testament from, the Ten Commandments. It's God's law, right?
Nowhere in the 10 Commandments does it say that. It was necessary for at
It's
the
in the
time.
book of Leviticus.
Marriage at the time was between a man and a woman, and it's still, I still believe that it is. I do not subscribe to being culturally influenced by what the world says is okay and what isn't, because I believe it is ever changing and it is ever wrong and it is imperfect. It is incredibly imperfect and inconsistent.
Okay, great. So if God came down tomorrow and said every gay person should be executed, would you do it?
I'm gonna speak on that.
Okay.
That's a logical. See, that's the thing, is it's a logical fallacy, because if that's like saying, if it's not true, would you still believe it's true? That's stupid. It's a logical fallacy. You can't argue.
Your
with logical
God
fallacies.
your God
No,
literally
because
said it in the
you're
Old
saying.
Testament.
But if somebody came to me and said, do that thing, I would dismiss them as being my God. I would say that is not my God because that's not his character. That's the issue. It's a logical fallacy.
How would you know it's not your God?
Because he'd be telling me to do something that is uncharacteristic of God. And that's the issue. It's like
how do you know what God's morality is?
if it is
How
not
do
a
you know-
thing, prove to me why would it be that thing? Like you're trying to. You're arguing with a logical fallacy. That's a thing. You can't make an argument on a logical fallacy.
What fallacy is it?
Because you're saying, if God said to do this
What
thing,
logical fallacy?
would you do it?
What logical
And I'm
fallacy is it?
saying,
What fallacy is it?
Huh?
okay, so I'm gonna try and say a sentence here, and if you can let me say it without interjecting, then maybe I'll think there's some validity to your argument here. So what I'm trying to say, why it's a logical fallacy, is because you're saying, if God came and said to do this thing, would you do it? But you're using an example of thing that the God we believe in would never say to do. So
how do you know that God would never do that?
Okay, I'm done. You interrupted me again. Like, you're not letting me get through my argument. You're asking
How
me to
would
answer
you know
questions.
he never?
You do it,
How
I'm
would you know
done.
he never said it?
You don't know how to have a healthy discussion. That's the issue. Is you don't know how, like, you're not functioning in a healthy communication way or a logical debate way. You're basing your whole, like, you can't have a logical discussion because your whole argument is stemmed from logical analyses that don't work, that fall apart. You're trying to remove from reality and separate things
It's
from
a
their
question,
context.
sir, not an argument. There's no fallacy possible. It's a question.
Because you don't want to have a conversation. You
It's a
really do
question. It was just a
bullshit
question.
people.
It was just a question. There's no possible fallacy there.
Okay. Cool. Good
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, good talk. All right, bye.
Look, guys, look at the mental gymnastics that we just witnessed today. I mean, look at what this person's mentality was, right? Going through this entire conversation. Simple questions. Hey, what would you do if God said this? Well, that's the context, right? Why does the Bible say this? Well, the context. Well, okay, what's the context? Well, right? Look at how hard it is to get interest from these people because They're just so scared to be wrong. They're so scared of what might be out there. They're so scared that maybe there is no God, that maybe there is no ultimate authority on morality. They're not even willing to concede that it's possible that maybe morality is subjective. They're not even willing to concede that it's possible. I think this is another problem with religion. It muddies the mind. It makes it so that, you know, you have these things, you're tethered to this one idea and you can't steer away from it. I think that's wrong. Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, I don't need God. Whether God or not exists, I don't need God for ethics. I don't need there to be a God to know that it's wrong to harm an animal or wrong to harm a being. And if you're going to think it's okay, well, what justifies it? If you're going to say, God told me, well, then that must apply to your ethics entirely. If God said to do this, would you do it? If you can't answer that simple question, your ethical framework needs to be redone, okay? If a simple question such as that, what would you do if God said this? If you can't even answer that, your ethical framework is so flimsy. It is built on a house of cards that's about to tip over, right? That's all. It should not be that hard to answer questions. So, should I have one more guest on? I really don't, but I'm really tired. By the way, I'm very disappointed in my debate with Parker in terms of his attitude, his behaviors. I think were atrocious. Very disappointing. You guys can go watch that debate on my channel. Thank you, email Barbie. Thank you. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Hey man, appreciate you letting me up. I've been waiting for about 35 minutes.
Okay. What do you got?
I just want to ask a few questions. Number one, I want to comment on because you mentioned it. I saw probably, I don't know, I couldn't stand it much long, but like 15, 20 minutes when you and Parker, that was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. But I wanted to ask you some questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, make it quick.
Cool, sure. Let's see. So, how much of your own food do you grow?
I don't grow any of my food, personally.
Okay, so how do you get your food? Do you go to like the store, or like how do you
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah, I go to the store.
Do you buy from local farmers or like corporate farming, or like how do you know like how the food is actually grown?
Sometimes I look at the label. If it's local, I buy local.
Okay. Do you know what conventional agriculture is?
Yeah. Do you have like an argument now, or do you have like a point?
Well, yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm just trying to get some. I'm trying to get where we're at, if that's okay.
Yeah, I know what agriculture is, sir.
Conventional agriculture. There's a difference. I actually farm, bro. So like I grow my own food.
Okay. What is your point here?
Do you haven't answered me? Do you know what conventional agriculture is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the use of like pesticides and the use of like, deforesting land and using that to grow crops. Monoculture.
What is the difference between conventional agriculture and growing in your backyard, urban farming? Because it's not pesticides like you think. It's not pesticides. There's one chemical in particular used for conventional agriculture, and you haven't provided that. It's the
I don't know.
primary difference.
I don't know. I don't know the particular thing. I don't know the particular chemical.
So it's called anhydrous ammonia. Do you know? Have you heard of that before?
I'm not really too familiar with it, but yeah, what's your point?
Okay, so anhydrous ammonia. If you actually did a video on it, Natural Grocers. Shout out to Natural Grocers, by the way. But they actually did. There was research done by the World Health Organization, believe it or not, and then also a few other like large organizations. But it actually it demineralizes the soil and removes the actual nutrients from the soil, and that's why they call it corporate farming, because what they actually do is removing the nutrients, they force the food to grow quickly, and when it grows quickly, you're obviously losing nutrients from that food. Well, in doing so, it actually contributes to not deforestation, but it's like similar to like deserting land, where it's like barren land, right? Because you're literally destroying the soil. Now, my question is, since you're not even familiar with it, how do you know you're not contributing to that? Because like the issue that I see
So
with
this
a lot of
is
vegans is
yeah.
that like
So
yourself
let me
included, you even
let me
admitted that you don't even grow your own food.
yeah. So let me explain how ridiculous your the point you just raised is. Number one, most conventional farming is done for animal farming. It's done for animal products.
Conventional
75% of crops around the world are grown. Shh, hold on. 75% of crops around the world are grown for animal feed, not for humans. So
You're shifting
vegans
the
are
goalposts, bro. I wasn't
vegans.
talking about this. You're shifting the goalposts. You've already admitted you don't grow your own food, dude.
That's irrelevant, right? The point is that vegans are way better for the environment for several reasons. We use less crops. We use
Muting
less
the mic. It's not
deforestation.
irrelevant because you're vegan. You should grow your.
I know you're crying, but just wait, sir. Please, just wait. Let me respond.
You're scared.
Let me respond. I'm responding to you, sir.
Representation.
I'm responding to.
Misrepresentation.
I'm responding to.
Representation.
Hold on.
Representation.
Hold on. Let me respond.
Okay.
So, firstly, vegans use way less crops than any meat eater does. Number two, veganism doesn't mean I don't.
Representation, folks.
Let me respond, sir.
Representation.
Let me respond.
This is what he does.
Let me respond. Second of all, veganism does not mean that we cause no harm. It means that we do the best we can with what we have, right? It means doing what's practicable, not what's perfect, right? So that's what veganism.
You can put a plant in your windowsill.
It seems like you're strawmanning what veganism means or entails in the first place. So, do you have an actual
How am I not vegan, but I grow more of my own food than you do? That's weird.
That's who cares? You're still harming animals for no reason. You still grape and harm animals.
Wait, hold on. Give me a second. I never said anything about me eating meat or not, and you're saying that I'm harming animals.
Great. So then,
so
are you
let me give you some insight, right?
Sir,
so look, right now.
Stop.
Oh wait,
you want to come up here and get the gotcha, but it's not going to happen to me, sir. Because you're not. You don't have a gotcha here. You're not listening. You're not listening to me,
bro.
You're not listening to me.
It's scared.
Veganism does not mean we cause no harm. Do you understand that?
Is terrified right now.
Do you understand that, sir?
Let me talk.
Do you understand that what veganism means?
Stop misrepresenting. Let me talk.
No. Do you understand what veganism means?
Let me talk, bro. Let me talk.
Do you understand what veganism means? Yes or no? Do you
understand
what veganism means?
Garden, bro? I'll teach you how to garden.
Sir, what does veganism mean?
You want me to teach you how to garden?
Sir, what does veganism
Adam,
mean?
You want me to teach you how to garden?
What does veganism mean?
You want me to teach you how to garden, bro?
What does veganism mean?
Do you want me to teach you how to garden?
No. Do you know what veganism means?
Why not? You don't grow your own food? Come on, bro.
I don't have a garden to work at. I'm not.
You don't need a garden to do it. That's the point.
I don't work
if you
on a
just
farm,
listen.
sir. I have a job. So explain to me, what is veganism, and why are you opposed to it? Go.
I have 3 jobs.
I don't care. What is veganism?
Excuses, dude. So look, let me show you. Let me show you. Look. So right now I have an indoor garden, right?
I don't care about your garden, sir. See, look, I know everybody hates me because I'm vegan. I understand that. I understand the world is against me. I know there's so much resistance. And especially with farmers, right? They want to come up here and, I farm, I garden. You're bad. That's a ridiculous argument. Veganism understands that we're not going to be perfect. It means we do what we can with what we have. That's all it means. And what he did was not an attack on veganism. All right, let's have an actual guest in here because that guy was just a complete jackass. Hello. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't really done this thing before. I really just had a question. What do you recommend for people who are trying to go vegan, but they're not very financially well off?
Talk to vegans. Talk to other vegans. You don't have to be rich to be vegan. You can be. It's very affordable to go vegan. There's budgeting, right? You can budget it. There's all ways to do it. So go talk to vegans about it, right? But not me. I'm debating right now, right? We're debating. This is not a Q&A.
What do you say to all the In-N-Out workers that will be laid off when we all go vegan?
Okay.
And all the
So
organic beef farms in the trucking industry of
yeah.
60,000 burgers a year.
Yeah. So first of all, there's already transitioning happening from animal farming to plant-based farming. That's already happening. So it's not like we're going to just lose jobs. Number one. Number two, when it comes to justification, I mean, the slavery in the 1800s gave us revenue, right? This is what the slave owners were saying about their slaves. Oh, if I get rid of my slaves, where am I going to how am I going to lose my job? I'm going to lose my job, right? No, that would be a
Pivoting
bad
to
justification.
slavery. We're pivoting
would
to
be a-
slavery over vegan now from veganism to
No,
slavery.
I'm comparing your justification, right? Your justification was, oh, these beings make me money, right? So therefore, let's do it. Let's
They
harm
do a
them.
lot more than that. But yeah, that's one
Okay,
aspect.
great. So do you think it's justified for slavery to come back because slavery would bring more jobs to America?
Again, you're going back to slavery and vegan. How is this even? Come on, dude. Seriously.
I'm comparing your justification, which is directly analogous.
Be logical. Be logical with me.
What's
okay?
What's illogical about what I just said?
We do not allow slavery. Okay, we don't condone it in this day and age.
I know,
okay?
but you're not able to follow the logic here, right? I'm asking you a simple
You're not
question.
the one that's able to follow actual logic. Come on, man.
Yeah. So I asked you a simple question, right? Like, your justification was the animals make me money and give us jobs. The same could be said for slaves, right? The point is that your justification for owning slaves would be bad in the same context. So again, do you think it's a good justification to own slaves because it gives us jobs? Yes or no?
No, I do not.
Okay, great. So your justification, even on your own view, is bad inherently, because just because
No,
something gets us
wrong.
jobs doesn't make it a good thing, right?
You're talking about animals and human beings, okay? They're different.
What's the morally relevant difference?
So, is it okay to cut your grass?
Yeah.
Or do you think we should let it grow?
Yeah, nice dodge. Yeah, it's okay to cut grass, sir.
That's a single cell organism, right? It has an intelligence. It follows the sun. It can't grow in the shade, right?
So do you actually think grass is intelligent?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Okay, where's the brain of grass? Where's the brain?
Do you know that the animal, do you know that a turkey is so unintelligent that it will open its mouth and drown itself in the rain?
It sounds like many people who do that, sir. Many people drown themselves. Okay.
I think you should regard the life of the beast, and I don't think that you should be torturing animals. I think that is wrong. But
What? Sir, I'm asking you, where is the brain of the grass? Where's the grass's brain?
I never said that it has a brain.
So how can they be intelligent?
There's animals that do not have brains.
But they're not intelligent.
Tell me an animal that is intelligent. Animal runs off of instincts. Why do dogs? Wait a minute. Why do dogs lick?
Cows, chickens, pigs, all intelligent.
Why do dogs lick each other's private parts?
So do people. I looked your mom's last night.
Dude, that's just immature, bro. You lose the argument right when you go there. Ignorance. I've been following you for a while, and I loved your one debate when you said that we should be eating dogs that are roaming. What was it? It was so funny. You had like thousands of people. You're like, yes, we should be eating dogs that are.
Thank you. Do you have an argument now?
No, do you want to argue about my mom and you've never been with my mom or something? Tell me where we're going from here.
Have a good day. Enjoy. All right, last victim.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Doing good. I just had a question. Does science understand how the brain works?
Yeah, we have an entire field called neuroscience that dedicated to understanding the brain. Yeah.
Right, we have a field of science, but I guess like what I say is the knowledge of the brain complete?
Nothing's complete. No knowledge is complete about the universe. What is your point here today, sir?
Well, you could say, for example, like the game of tic-tac-toe is complete, or solved, that is. So the brain is not solved. Would you say also that nutrition is solved? As in, like, do we understand how certain nutrients that the brain needs, like, do we have complete understanding of that?
Yeah, I think that the consensus amongst nutritionists is that we don't need to eat animal products to be healthy. In fact, the
Oh,
opposite.
no, that wasn't exactly what I asked. I just
Okay, great.
asked.
So then what is your point?
Sure. So I asked, like, do we understand all of the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, and their role in, let's say, human brain health, human body health, etc.?
Yeah, you don't have to eat meat to be healthy. We know that for sure. So what is
No,
your point today?
that
What is
wasn't
your
the
what is your
question.
point today, sir? What is your point?
So my point is, I'm positing that we do not understand every supplement. I
Come
mean,
back
you can
with
see
another
things
point
like,
and tell us, okay? Tell us, come back and tell us when you know everything about the universe. All right, guys, I think I'm done for today. I hit my threshold of insanity anymore, and I just go insane.